Hey guys, good to be here for this week's dev update or Oxen Labs update, dev section. So on the session team, we have been continuing our work with user configuration. So some good news. I think I said this last week, but it got back from its first, Android got back from its first round of QA. And basically Harris is just fixing up the final things there and hoping to get it back into QA in the next couple of days. Just to check off that all of the final things are done, and then will be passed on Android. iOS is already through for user config through QA, and desktop is basically, we had a lot of issues with compiling for all of the platforms in the last week, but the great news is that this week we fixed all of those compiling issues or compilation issues, and we are basically down to just like fixing up the to-dos that Audric has listed in his kind of development list. So hoping to get something to QA kind of late this week, early next week kind of frame. So yeah, hopefully that'll be everything into QA, and then we'll do a bit of cross-platform testing, making sure that everything is all good. But we're really close to the user config stuff. So super excited about that. The other devs have been working on some miscellaneous tasks on session, so trying to reduce ANRs and crashes on Android, and then there's also some work going into, it's the same thing, but some different ANRs and crashes on Android, which are being fixed right now. Message sending kind of failure statuses are getting increased, so that we had this thing before where technically what's happening when you send a message is you send it both to your own swarm and then you send it to the recipient's swarm. Before we were only showing whether it got to the recipient's swarm. Now we actually show them as individual things. So if it fails to get to your swarm, we actually show that status now. That's being implemented on Android too. We've got it on iOS. So yeah, that's being worked on as well. And then there's some quote standardization also going on desktop. Cool. I think that's the session stuff. On Oxen, we have Oxen Core, we've basically just been going through with the auditors, the ledger audit. That's looking really good. They should be wrapping up pretty soon. We've also been doing some unit testing and end-to-end testing work, trying to get that test suite better. So, because they're going to audit that as well at the end of the audit. So that work is looking really good as well. And then on libquickynet, basically the focus has been on libquickynet for the last week or so, hoping to get a lot of those wire protocol issues resolved, which are issues when inter-node communication happens. So when a service node talks to a service node, trying to get issues there resolved with libquickynet, which is looking really good and really promising. Jeff's still working on his refactor. Dan and the team are doing really well. So yeah, it's looking really good on libquickynet too. I think that just about rounds us up for the dev section. I'll chuck it over to Josh for the marketing section. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, it's me again here. This week, another shorter week because of Anzac Day here in Australia, but we still cranked out a bunch of stuff. So one of the things on the video front, we pumped out another Privacy Experts React video. This is this kind of series of the Privacy Experts React is a format that's done really well for us in the past. So we decided to kind of dust it off and do another one and see how it goes. So we pumped out one of them. Also on the socials front, we've been going deep into competitor analysis, looking at other people in the space on the Oxen front, on the session front, seeing what they're doing and analyzing it. And the idea is to take that information and kind of revamp our social strategy a little bit. Socials for us have always been a pretty strong area for us, but it's always good to just kind of assess and take stock of information and just kind of try new things and see how it goes. So that's something that we've been doing as well. On top of that, we also spent some time with our good friend, artificial intelligence. We've been using AI to test out some stuff to see how much we can boost it in our content generation. We've already been using it a bunch to create more content, and we're just seeing how much more we can get out of it. specifically around our animations. We think we might be able to use it to do a bit more animated stuff, which notoriously in the past has been a tricky area for us. It's quite time intensive and takes up a lot of resources to do animations. So we think we found a way that we can use AI to help us without sacrificing the quality. So that would be pretty cool if we can manage to pull that off. But that's another focus that we've been doing this week. And then we've also got our main ticket items, which is, continuing the work on the Oxen refresh, as well as Monerotopia. So Alex and Kee are heading off next week. So we've just been continuing, all the stuff related to that, finalizing their talks, getting the slides ready and all of that. Just making sure that we're ready for Monerotopia when we head along there. And as I've said before, if you guys are going to be in the area or you're going to check it out, come down, make sure you say hi to them. I'm sure they'd be glad to see you guys and have a chat. But yeah, that's it for me this week. I'll see you guys around.